Well, in this room today, I'm the person who was pregnant most recently. Now, that's not true for this entire body, but in this room, I was the person who was pregnant most recently. I actually had a very public pregnancy and labor, but before the very public part, there was some private stuff that happened. When I was about 20 weeks pregnant, we had that really exciting 20-week ultrasound, and they, measured the length of the body and the legs, and it was really great for me, except there was maybe something wrong. And they said, come back next week. Okay. Came back next week, can't quite tell. Come back following week. So at 22 weeks, I go in, and they say, we're not sure, but your baby's not growing. You might have fetal growth restriction. It might be something with your placenta. We have a goal for you. We want to get you to 33 weeks. That's your goal. I want you to put it on the fridge. You're going to make it to 33 weeks. But you got to come back every week for a fetal stress test. And they hook you up to a machine, and you drink water and crackers, try to get everything moving around. And at 23 weeks and at 24 weeks, I started having to have conversations with my provider. What if I don't get to 33 weeks? What happens if we don't get there? And she said, well, I can tell you the kind of care I'd like to provide you, but it won't be me. You'd have to go out of state. And here's the thing, members. If I hadn't gotten to 33 weeks, if my baby hadn't grown, if she wasn't viable, we would have had to deliver her before she passed away in utero to save my life. But that wouldn't have been a medical emergency at that time. Under this bill, I would have had to wait until my child died in utero, and then I was sick, and I had sepsis, until the lawyers at the hospital felt comfortable enough to tell the doctor that she's sick enough now that you're not going to get charged with a felony penalty for providing care to your patient. There is absolutely no way that we can legislate all of the unique circumstances that is true for every single pregnancy. Every pregnancy is unique. And we keep talking about guardrails as if the people who are pregnant aren't those guardrails. 2/3 of people who have abortions are already parents. They already have children. They are the ones who know the most intimately their bodies, their lives, their circumstances, their other children, their partners. 1% of abortions happen after 21 weeks. And it is insulting to insinuate that women and people with uteruses are just walking around, that they don't know what they're doing, that they don't know their lives and their bodies, and that they're making these decisions that, as we talk about them, seem like these horrible people, and that there's medical providers who are going along with these horrible circumstances. It is really insulting to pregnant people. We absolutely know our bodies. We are the guardrails. The professional standards and ethics of medical providers are the guardrails. We do not need to legislate all the circumstances in which it's okay for you to have health care here, but it's not okay for you to have health care here. And where there's ambiguity, let me tell you, people do not get health care. They die. The maternal mortality rate in the United States of America is estimated to go up 24% because of the abortion bans ripping through this country. For black women, it is 39%. I am the first black mother to ever be elected to this chamber. And to hear parents, pregnant people be talked about in this way is horrific. And to try to legislate their circumstances as if we don't, then they might do something nuts. That they might do something so horrible. We are the guardrails. And we don't need the people in this room, the people in this chamber, to be telling pregnant people what kind of care they can get, when, and why. And so with that, Mr. President, I move the A103 amendment. I'm sorry, the A210 amendment.